Hello, my dears. Welcome to Jessica's Intuition. Welcome to the next weekly reading. Before we start here, I definitely need to mention a few things briefly. For those who are not interested, feel free to fast forward. We are looking at the week of the 24th, March, until the 30th of March. March is coming to an end, and the week after that we are already in April. Before we start, I noticed in the last weekly reading, it definitely resonated better with you that I did all 12 zodiac signs as a general message. That was clear to me. So it has always been like that in the past. In my first year, I did it that way. Then at some point, I stopped doing it altogether. Then I tried it again. So in 2021, 2022, and then finally in 2023, I didn't do it anymore. And last year, 2024, not at all. I would like to try that. So I definitely want to keep doing it for all 12 zodiac signs. I actually try to film it on Friday or Saturday evening, depending on when I have time, so that you all receive it on Sunday. I can't always promise that it will be ready by 8 o'clock on Sunday, maybe a little later. In any case, I've decided to publish them all on Sunday and not before. I've also been considering whether to publish them earlier once they're finished, but I think I'll release them all at the same time on Sunday. Unless I change my mind during the week, no idea. I'll think it over carefully. As I said, I don't know if everything will work out by 8 o'clock in the morning this time. It's almost Saturday night now. Yeah, I'll just have to see. Then I definitely wanted to mention here that a few comments last week didn't sit well with me. First of all, this is my channel. If I want to include an introduction here, then I will. That's the first thing. I don't know how long it will be. I say this in advance. You are not forced to listen to it. You can also feel free to fast forward. As I said, if you're only interested in the card reading, you can actually leave my channel. I'm very straightforward about this because I want to have a community here that stands behind me and appreciates what I say. And it's not just all about the card reading. I've said it before, I'm not a card reading machine. That it's solely about the card reading here. This is also about astrology, and I actually mention in every weekly reading what we can expect astrologically in the week. I am genuinely happy, I must honestly say, when people reach out and leave a comment. That's how you can find the fly in the ointment and simply fish it out. So I have deleted a few comments and actually also blocked a few users. As I said, if something doesn't suit me, I just do it. And I wanted to mention that I find it very disrespectful to even bring it up. And as I said, I don't want to give it a platform here, nor do I want to bother with it anymore. I just wanted to mention it here once. Anyone who stands out to me will be blocked immediately. All right, that's just a preliminary note. The 72-hour outlook was also very well received by you. It will be available again on Thursday for all 12 zodiac signs. What I noticed there are the timestamps. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I won't be adding timestamps, that I won't write down when each sign comes up. If any of you would like to do that, you are welcome to, and I would be very grateful. I also take note of such things, and maybe I'll pick you out sometime and you'll receive a little goodie from me. Always remember, it's a give and take. I am reading the cards for you here. I don't have time for everything. And unfortunately, I don't have time to do that for all 4 channels as well. That's why I didn't do it. And as I said, you are welcome to write in the comments when your reading begins. I'm not upset about that. I'm very grateful for it. There's good karma for you. And as I said, you simply stand out to me because of that. Comments like the timestamps are missing or whatever stand out negatively. I just wanted to mention that so you're informed. I see everything. I also see things that are not visible. So in that sense, I see everything. Yes, that's just a preliminary note. I hope I haven't forgotten anything now. Exactly. I had told you that I have a course over the weekend, which actually runs from 9 to 6. From Friday to Sunday. Sunday, these readings will be released on Sunday. At some point during the day, the remaining spring readings will be released. Also on all channels. And I will actually try to publish the weekly reading on all channels from now on. So that's actually my current project that I want to start. As mentioned, the remaining spring readings will come out sometime on Sunday during the day. And then starting Monday, the April readings will follow. First the monthly reading, then the me and my counterpart reading. I know I still have a few love readings pending about what's coming up in love for you. I think I will also do those this week. But I also have a few appointments this week. I'm not sure how I will manage all of it. Then we also have the new moon this week, for which an oracle will be released. Then we have Neptune, which is growing in the sign. And I actually would like to make a video about that as well. That's why I just have to see. Maybe I'll do it like this. I'll first do the April readings because they are a priority. Then I'll do the remaining love readings. I think there are still 7 left of the what's coming up in love for you readings, the timeless ones. And after that, I'll do the me and my counterpart reading. They will probably spill over into April, but everything is somewhat timeless anyway. A reading comes out every month for this series. So if it goes a few days into April, I think it's not that bad. So I think I'm done with the complaining. Yes, as I said, for me, that's just not acceptable. I just wanted to mention that, and with that, the matter is settled for me, because I don't celebrate or like that at all. All right, as I said, we're looking at the week of the 24th until the 30th of March. The weekly readings won't be too long. Of course, the intro I speak is included in every zodiac sign. That always lasts longer than the actual reading. As I said, it's all a message, and it's all important for the next week, not just the card reading. And ultimately, these are weekly readings. Almost every day, a video is released on my channel. That's why I can't make every video 30 minutes long. That just doesn't work. As I said, if someone doesn't like it, they are welcome to take the door and just leave. So what's coming up this week? We have right on Monday the 30th on the 24th. In March, we have the Sun conjunct Mercury. Mercury is currently at 4 degrees Aries. It is retrograde, which means it will go back into Pisces. I had told you about that. It was at 9 degrees Aries and is now at 4 degrees Aries. And indeed, on Monday, it might happen that we feel major turning points or that a major turning point occurs. It could also be that something from the past comes up again. Something that we want to bring forward. Especially since Mercury represents our mind, also communication. The sun always illuminates that. They are practically right next to each other. So they are directly, let's say, in the radix, they are right next to each other, the conjunction. And that can indeed also mean, yes, where should it go for you now? In which direction should it go now? In general, what, how, what, where? So it can indeed mean where to with you. Where to with you? How should it move forward now? That is indeed the case. With Mercury conjunction, so Sun conjunction Mercury, it can indeed be directly on Monday that you feel it, right? The energies, or rather, yes, the energies, they know no time. They are there, they are already there now. One person feels it earlier, another feels it later. Then, on the 27th of March, we have Venus in retrograde conjunction Neptune. So I would actually take this week, yes, time for yourself. So I would take time, so that you take time for yourself, that you also withdraw a bit, that you think a lot this week about how things can generally move forward for you, right? Because we also have the new moon. I believe it will be a very, very spiritual week as well. The week will not be easy. I'm telling you now. Yes, as I said, on the 27th of March, we have Venus in retrograde conjunction Neptune. Neptune is currently at 29 degrees Pisces. As I said, it is also changing its sign. It can actually be that we are more emotional, that we are more sensitive, more compassionate. It can also be that we want to heal or want to heal ourselves, that things simply come up, that we are allowed to process things we might have pushed aside, right? Forgiveness issues, also something like forgiving oneself. This is definitely a time for spirituality, to go within, to be with oneself, to, as mentioned, also take time for oneself. As I have already said, it can also mean that major cleansing processes, as mentioned, the theme of healing, the theme of, yes, cleansing as well. I am definitely with the star energy on this. I just have to say, on the 27th of March, we also have Lilith changing her sign. She changes it every 9 years, and she is also moving into Scorpio. I am also very curious about how this energy will affect us. However, it goes until the 20th December into Scorpio. After that, it becomes retrograde and then comes back again. That's just a preliminary note. And then we actually have on the 29th, March, which is Saturday, the 29th, Mach. We have a solar eclipse, which means the solar eclipse at 8, or rather, 9 degrees. Aries. Yes, the new moon in Aries is approaching. Restart, exactly. Restart. Energy is a fire energy. This is a very, very active energy. Strong willpower. A new chapter may open. We already had the new astrological year starting on Thursday. That was also, I must honestly say, I actually started something new on that day. So at the moment, everything is going very well for me. I can't say it any other way. So the year is really off to a good start for me. I hope it's the same for you, that you are making good progress in your endeavors. As I said, there was also a topic for me that I had been putting off for a long time. I had been putting it off since last year, and I realized that I have to tackle it at some point this year. I kept postponing it, and now with the eclipse season, by the way, the last eclipse for now is at the beginning of the year, the 2nd of 4. And with that, the eclipse season is also over for now. It will return at the end of the year in September or October. And it is indeed the case that during the eclipse season, or rather during the retrogrades, as I mentioned in the astrological forecast, things will resurface in March that we have postponed, simply things we haven't addressed. And that has indeed happened to me. And I can't tell you otherwise. Address the things you are putting off. One day you will be confronted with it again, sooner or later. And for me, a few things were indeed already too late. I know, but I knew that myself. But my hands were simply tied. I didn't have a solution for it. And I knew the solution would come eventually when the time was right. I was then forced to do something else first instead of what I actually wanted. And ultimately it resolved itself on Thursday, or rather, finally on Friday for me. I am very thankful and very happy about it, that I no longer have a problem in that regard. Yes, as I said, some might want to reflect back on last year, September, October. That was the eclipse season. And what was pending then, whether you have completed it or not. As mentioned, we have the new moon in Aries. This is a very, very strong energy. This is again an energy for the next 6 months, where I would say, look at what you intended back then, whether it has now been fulfilled or realized. What still needs to be looked at? What still needs to be addressed? What can finally be completed? What can be started anew? Open a new chapter, a new chapter. That's really the theme, I would say. As mentioned, there will be another video about this. I will probably manage to film the video on Thursday, or rather, maybe already on Wednesday, and then it will be published for you on Thursday. That's how I feel about it. Yes. Oh, for the new moon in Aries. I'm very curious about that. Yes, that's it for now. And then, my dear ones, what can I say? On March 30th, we have Neptune in Aries. I think this week, Mercury will also, won't it go back over Aries again? I have a feeling, won't it go back over Aries again this week? Wait a moment, I need to quickly check my astrology tool. So I think it will happen again on the 29th, right? I believe on the 29th, Mercury will also go back into Pisces again. But I'm not 100% sure about that. It's currently on Monday, it's at 4 degrees. I think it will happen again. I think it was on the 29th. On the 29th, Mercury will go back into Pisces again. Yes, the 29th, that was it. I didn't write it down. Thought I would remember it. Well, let's finally get to the last part. The 30th. Yes, the 30th now of March. Neptune in the sign of Aries. That actually only happens every 164 years. 164 years ago, none of us were around. So we don't know how it will be. And especially the constellation that is present now, it hasn't been there before. And Neptune in Aries actually stays until the 22nd. August 2025 in Aries. Then it will go retrograde again and return to Pisces. And then in January, I believe it was the 25th. or the 26th. Jan, Neptune goes back into the sign of Aries. So this Aries 0 point is very, very important. I watched a video by Silke Schaefer 2 days ago or so. So when she published it in my last video, super informative. There were just such awesome messages in it. I can only recommend it to you. Watch the video. She is a professional astrologer, and yes, she mentioned and talked about some things that are just wow, what awaits us. Yes, a new cycle is opening. As I said, we haven't seen or experienced this transit in our lifetimes. It can actually mean that we are entering into major new beginnings. In general, new energy, new world. Everything will be a bit different. Everything will change, also on a global scale. We feel, I think, the urge, especially with Aries and Neptune, the urge to start anew, to begin again. Perhaps also to realize our dreams. Big new dreams, a bigger or newer life. And I also like to say lately, hold on to your vision. And most of you here have probably noticed that something has come to fruition for me in the last few weeks, for which I am very grateful that it happened the way it did. Ultimately, also with my other channels, that was a very, very, very deep-seated wish of mine to eventually start the English one, and now I am also available in Spanish and Turkish. And yes, I am curious to see what else will come. So at the moment, I am really very, very happy. Of course, there are a few things that still need to be addressed, things you like to look at. I just took the deck of cards and there was the Ace of Cups under the deck, which also tells me that there are very, very big new beginnings this week. Very important new beginnings as well. I also believe that a new beginning is coming for many this week. Okay, my dears, I'll leave it here with this intro for now. A good 18 minutes have passed. As I said, I'm not rushing myself anymore. I'm also taking the time to tell you about it. A little reminder. I have decided that you will get the 2026 annual reading with a 25% early bird discount. I am extending it for another week. For those who still want to participate, let's say until the 31st of March, because the 30th of March we are doing it until the 31st of March. In 2025, you can purchase the 2026 annual reading with the early bird discount for 25% less. Book the 2025 annual reading anyway. I will remove it sometime next month or the month after, and then I will already put in 2027. But for now, it will remain available. And yes, this reading will be released on Sunday. Anyone who still wants the spring reading at a discount can do so until Sunday the 23rd March. Save 20% on the spring reading without any additional code. When you add it to the cart, it will be automatically deducted. Exactly, that's just for you, my dears. I would say, let's start with the zodiac signs and see you soon in the videos. Hello, dear Libra. Welcome to your weekly reading. Let's take a look at yours first. I want to go through the cards first. They are all uploaded at the same time anyway. Nevertheless, I decided to start with your reading. Let's see what wants to come your way this week. Always remember that the roles in a reading can be reversed. Time is always relative, time flows. And these are always collective readings, general readings. Of course, it may also be that not everything will resonate with you and this reading here. All important information, all important links, and also the cards I use can always be found below in the info box. And everything I currently offer can be found on my website. I have already taken out the moon cards. We have the new beginning. A new beginning is imminent, definitely. The Aries card, time to act, time to get moving now. And the solar eclipse card. A massive change is coming your way, our way. Yes, restart energy. And there also appears the King of Wands and the Page of Wands, which also tells me one should be ready to start something new. Feel free to also look at your moon sign, your ascendant sign, not just your sun sign. Also take a look at your other placements. Wheel of Fortune. It's time to take your destiny into your own hands now. It's time for fateful changes, fateful opportunities. Be ready now for fateful change. In a positive way, regain your strength, reclaim and take back control. You practically have your destiny in your own hands. You decide what you make of it. I tell you this in almost every video. Whether it's the zodiac sign videos or general videos, I tell you in every video that you always have your destiny in your own hands, and only you can change your destiny. Yes, the Two of Coins. What is important for you now? Weigh your options. Prioritize. What is important now? Set priorities. It's very clear, setting these priorities so that things can move forward for you again. I have a feeling that things will move forward quite quickly for you here. Yes, look, wand energy, and we have the star energy. I actually see a very, very big transformation for you here. Also a major change. If you now decide what is more important for you, and then finally tackle it. The ball is definitely getting rolling here. Movement is coming in for you here. Things will move forward quite quickly for you this week. King of Swords. Perhaps you still need to make decisions about how things will ultimately continue for you, whether things will continue with someone for you here, or if this is the end. And this can actually be in the area of love, where you make a decision. Is it that? Is it stable? Is it something where you can build something with someone? Following that is the Three of Wands, which also tells me, Three of Pentacles, which also tells me, can you build something together or not? King of Swords makes a clear decision, is ready to make decisions, is ready to move forward, takes responsibility. Yes, then we have the Page of Swords. Don't let yourself be held back. Page of Swords and Justice under the deck. I also feel that justice should now prevail for you. Look, the life-changing decision here as well. Justice should now prevail for you. You can now also be honest with yourself, be fair to yourself. That's what the Page of Swords tells me again. He won't be stopped. He has new ideas, wants to implement them, and is ready to fight for his plans, for his goals, for what he wants. Ultimately also where he wants to go. For the Queen of Wands, we have just seen under the deck the Tower that one can finally free oneself from old structures, from old beliefs. Everything that has hurt you, everything that has disappointed you, where you had pain, what has caused you pain, you can now recognize and heal. It is also a week of healing. You are allowed to recognize that. And then ultimately the question is, where is my place in this world? Where do I belong? Where do I want to go? All the baggage that we ultimately let go of, here is this wake-up call. And there we have the Four of Wands again. It's about waking up. Also, being ready to also close the past here. All that, what one, yes. What one can no longer maintain, what no longer fits, can now be concluded here. One can now free oneself from it. And the Queen of Wands, she is independent and free. She is ready to free herself from such things. And she is also capable of that. And this energy is allowed to come. For me, this is also a bit of the Aries energy. Okay, I'll leave it at that. I'll still draw a moon card for you now. Let's take a look. We'll draw another moon card. What is now coming towards you? Or what other message there is? Adaptation is required? Okay, I don't like the card, to be completely honest with you. I just don't like it. Maybe it was always the case that you had to adapt. That's how I see it too. Adaptation is required, that one always has to adapt, even to society. We can delve deeply into these topics, and that is what's required. Do you want to continue adapting, or do you want to break out? Do you want to go your own way here? Do you want to, yes, ultimately fulfill yourself and not the ideas, the plans of someone else? This self-fulfillment here as well. The Emperor now under the deck. Take control. Adaptation is required. I just don't like the card. I'll tell you how it is. No. I'm telling you honestly, I just wanted to clarify something. We have the Three of Cups, these Three of Cups. Is it that what you want you don't get? I'm telling you honestly, here comes a new opportunity for you, a new chance that you should seize. An Ace of Cups, that's one. We had that completely. At the beginning, I showed that the Ace of Cups was under the deck. This is the new beginning, a new step into a new, perhaps also into a new chapter, a new phase of life. You now have your destiny in your own hands, and here we have the topic again. With the old beliefs, do you still want to conform, or are you ready to break out of it? 10 of 10 of coins under the deck, which also tells me, again, it's now about your success, new opportunities that you can now basically pursue. And here the Hierophant also appears, which tells me again, follow the call now. Follow your soul, follow your inner guidance, be ready to break out of this comfort zone. Okay, I'll leave it at that for now. I will now lay another row of cards for you in the continuation. Then we'll see what else is coming your way. I will draw a power animal for you. Which power animal will accompany you this week? Then we'll draw a soul message for you. We draw one, an answer in the angel card. This can be advice for you or an answer to your question. And to conclude, we will also draw a love message for you. You have the choice to watch the continuation through 2 different links, at least on the German channel. The first link is always the one that leads you to my website. There, you can always watch the continuation individually. You will also receive 2 emails. The first email is the confirmation email, where you have your invoice. And then you will receive a second email where the button is that redirects you to the continuation. Also, feel free to check the spam folder. Then you also have the option on the German channel to watch the continuation. To watch it through the channel membership on YouTube, this is the second link, which then leads you to the channel membership video. However, you can only watch the video if you are a channel member. Starting from the second level here, from the Store Community Bronze, you have full access to all continuations of the weekly readings. And you can always find these links at the bottom, in the info box, and also in the top comment. I look forward to welcoming you there soon. And to everyone else, I wish you a wonderful week. All the best and see you at the next reading. Bye bye.